Look at that. We are back with you live again at the Studio 10-4 Live weekly update. John here in the studio with you guys again for June 28th, the last week of June 2023. We're burning through the year. We already hit the longest day of the year last week. In fact, I think we hit it right on the show last Wednesday. So the days have been getting shorter since then every day by a minute or whatever it is. And here we are. Of course, warming up here in the Pacific Northwest a little bit, not like my old home of Folsom, California, which I do miss Folsom, but I don't miss the heat. I don't miss those 100-degree days and 100 degrees plus, whatever it's going to be, which this weekend is rodeo weekend down there. So I'll be kind of tripping down there to hang out with the old friends and spend the weekend down there enjoying Folsom Pro Rodeo. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of July. Then back up here to do a little trip down the river. I think we're going to go down on the 4th, down the Hellgate jet boat excursion for the dinner cruise, if I'm not mistaken, on the 4th of July. So a busy week ahead for me, and I'm sure for everybody else. 4th of July, guys got a lot of things going on, different places, different rules in different places up here. Not a good idea to light any fireworks off out, especially where I live. But fireworks are available, and the fireworks up here are cool. They're not the totally safe and sane like in California. Not that they're insane, but they're all right. Stephanie, good to have you on the show tonight. Diesel addict herself, Stephanie Haas, and contributor to 10-4 magazine, hanging with us here in the studio tonight. I'm looking forward to 4th. I think it'll be fun, and we'll have some good times down in Folsom and enjoy ourselves. Mr. Dan Lynn's in the studio tonight too, remotely I might add, because Dan's out and about. Dan is out on assignment, as they say. Good to have you, Dan. I know we talked earlier, and we'll get your points out there. In fact, I may as well just tell you right now, I'm sure everybody's been concerned and wondering what the heck is going on with our website. Well, it's I think it's got COVID. It's got issues. The website has some issues right now, and we are working through them. We will get them resolved. It just happens to be that way right now, and it's not like it's the first website to ever have some technical difficulty, and certainly ours has had some in the past, and it's just having its worst time with itself right now. But we hope to get that all resolved here real soon and back together. In fact, on that note, normally we would have our website featured tonight with our cover story that's in the website, but as it is, we're not going to do that. We do have the photographs, though, that our photographer and contributor, Colin Kund, sent to me. So I've got pictures of this month's featured cover truck, which is right here. In fact, Gene Weaver's Marmon, red Marmon, on the cover of the June edition of 10-4 magazine. So, and I'm hoping, I'm just going to say I'm hoping, because I got a text earlier from Gene, and work has trumped Studio 10-4 live weekly update tonight. Maybe he's going to try to get on here with us. We'll see if that happens. But he had a all of a sudden, just out of the blue, emergency work thing happen, and he had to take care of it. So we understand that. That's trucking, and that's the way it goes. Yeah, good point, Dan. First Mormon ever. And I was the first Mormon ever, right? So first Mormon, get that? Yeah, thank you. Like what I did there. Nice truck. I mean, and he runs this thing every day. So, you know what? It's something to be said about a couple of points there. And I think I said this last week too. We do it all. If there's a truck worthy of being on the cover, and it has to be worthy of being on the cover, and they're all worthy of being on the cover, there's just only 12 spots to make the cover per year. So one a month, 12 per year. And, it really just takes a lot to get there. I want to say howdy to everybody else that's chiming in. Shannon, Gene, of course, and some others that are in there. You guys have joined us via a Facebook group, so we don't have permission to see your smiling face or know who you are. So if you said, "Hi, everyone, tell me who you are," and the other said, "Hi, JT, tell me who you are," and I can shout you out there and give you a little shout back. What else is going on in our world? It's kind of that little in between time right now. So there's shows going on. There's still stuff happening. It's 4th of July. That being said, we're we're all kind of in that mode of let's have a little us and me and we time, and folks are out doing their thing, and we're going to get back into it. In fact, Dan and Shan and myself and I don't know who else, but we'll be in Oregon, Brooks show in August. That's going to be the next adventure for us. John Jakes, what's going on, buddy? That's going to be happening in August, and then September, of course. September GBATS is going to be the big one where Team 10-4 is going to get together in Joplin there at the Four State Trucks location and hanging out with the boss man, Brian Martin, and all the Chrome Shop Mafia folks out there for the Guilty by Association truck show. Can't wait to do that show again. That's going to be so much fun. Hopefully I have not missed out on a golf cart. So keep your fingers crossed for me on that one. And we will have a golf cart for the studio to be mobile with while we're in Joplin. That's going to be a lot of ground to cover over there this year because there's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be a big show. Also, of course, as is the tradition for 10-4 magazine every month, golf carts are in the works. Well, that's good to know, Mr. Lenz. Thank you. The cover is up on the 10-4 magazine Facebook page, and that is this month's cover. Of course, that'll be coming down here in the next couple of days because the new magazine is going to be coming out any day now. So look for that. You guys that have subscriptions are going to be seeing yours in the mail coming directly to you. Check your racks in your favorite locations all across the United States and get your fresh copy of the July edition of 10-4 magazine, July 2023, already upon us. So a lot of cool stuff going to be in the magazine, of course, show reports as usual, and leading us up to, and again, back into September, which is going to be our 30th anniversary month. So we've got a lot of neat things that are in the works that we're going to be celebrating along the way, and specifically in Joplin while we're there, we got some things planned that we'll be doing and sharing with you as we get to that closer to that point. But happy 30th to 10-4 magazine and everybody involved in making 10-4 magazine along the way. And there's been quite a few that have come and some gone, but definitely a lot of help along the way to get where we're at today as you see us. In the green room right now is Mr. Colin Kund. I'm going to bring him on into the show. He's sitting there kind of hanging, waiting, going, what am I doing here? What's going on?
I'm just working on some pictures for my next feature.
Oh, well, there you go, man. Being effective in your spare time.
Trying my best.
Yep, make it happen. Cream of the, and Dan, I know that's a typo, but cream of the crop, I'm sure is what he meant to say. So nobody saw that. Colin, you've done some work over the years, and Dan and I were speaking before today's show, and I took notice of you a ways back when you had a really nice cab over that you featured in a story that you did, and I just thought, this guy's got a great eye. I like his style and I like his work. So congratulations on getting the cover this month. Is this the first cover that you've shot for 10-4 magazine?
It's the first cover I've shot, yeah, for 10-4. Yeah, it was
well, hey, man,
think of a better truck, honestly, to really get the cover,
Well, that is pretty awesome, man. And you got a congratulations there from Miss Stephanie Haas as well. She is, of course, done quite a few, as we all know, cover trucks over the years. But congrats on your first, and I'm sure first of many more to come. So featured stories, you've done a few of those as well.
Yep.
Yep, good deal. And as we say at 10-4, everybody's a cover truck, but there's only so much real estate to share those trucks on the cover. So if you happen to
Exactly.
be one of the 12 in the year that make it, it's a pretty special deal. So, and again, unfortunately, this month's guy, our featured cover trucker, Gene Weaver, not able to be here. So tell us a little bit about Gene and what's Gene like. I've never met him, and frankly, I don't remember if you and I have ever met in real life either, have we?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have either. But
I don't think we
so you
have.
got to spend some time with Gene. Did you know Gene, or were you kind of key in setting up the cover story deal?
So, funnily enough, Gene and I actually met at a show, which is where I first saw the truck back in April. One of my good friends, Jake Stewart, actually knows Gene fairly well, and Jake kind of introduced us. And I'd sent Dan a couple pictures of this truck, and he was like, "You know what? I'm really interested in that truck. Let's see if we can get something done." So I approached Gene about it, and he was all for it. He was honored actually, and as was I to get the cover for this month.
Well, and let's kind of let's qualify and quantify that statement. We sometimes as individuals we cheer for a truck and try to get it in there as a cover truck. That doesn't always mean it's going to happen. It just
Exactly.
doesn't. But there's something here that got Dan's eye, and it just worked out that it ended up on the cover, of course, and deservedly so. I mean, but damn, the first Marmon ever to make it onto the cover of 10-4 magazine. So I think we're trying to round out all the truck manufacturers here. We got Marmon. I don't know what's left, but Dan, you'll have to fill us in on that. But Marmon's definitely one of the ones off in obscurity that's just not your everyday truck out there, right?
Yeah.
So we got some nice shots here. I'm sharing all the different ones that you sent me. If you got any narrative on any of these as I go through them, be sure and chime in and tell us a little bit about the shot or why you liked it so much and how you set it up. Anything you want to share?
Well, it was funny actually. We were trying to decide on a place basically to photograph the truck, and Gene had actually delivered bin block to this place. So this is the old Bethlehem Steelworks in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, actually, and it's now turned into a grain storage facility for overseas shipping, internal shipping, interstate, out of state, basically anything you can think of. He sent me a photo of it, and I said, you know what, this is what we have to do. This is the place we have to use. It was perfect. The weather was iffy. We got rained on pretty good once we got in the building. We actually ended up leaving the truck there, and I took him home just because we didn't want to get the truck dirty.
Well, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. I've been out on
Exactly.
shoots when it's raining and you get out, wipe it down, get a few shots in, it rains again, wipe it down, do whatever. And that back in the days when Eric was still around, and the first time I think I was on a shoot other than my own truck, that happened, and it was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what it's going to take. We're going to have to do whatever it takes. This is going to be part of it. It's funny. You should mention too that location it's now grain silo. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So the original, I guess, facility has now turned into basically grain storage. Yes.
So in California, it ended up being an event center and a winery. That's just kind of how they roll down there.
You'd be surprised. There's a couple other places similar to that in the area that have changed into those venues.
Yeah, Dan and I were checking out. Well, I was checking out two locations down there in California where I was at. One in Sacramento, one in Elk Grove. One of them actually is developed and is an event center. They
Mhm.
host stuff there all the time. The other one hasn't quite made it that far yet, but it looks a lot like very industrial, old school, big, huge, 2 and 4 story buildings with
Yeah.
glass panels all over them, and that some of them open, some of them broken, some of whatever. It just has a really cool look to it. So it makes for a great backdrop for a photo shoot for a truck, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's funny because I've done a couple other photo shoots at another Bethlehem Steel facility, actually in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. One of the features I had for Lanita a couple years back was there, and I've done multiple shoots, for freelance work at that same facility as well.
Yeah. Well, if there's enough there that you can get different shots and it doesn't start looking like everything you do is in that one spot, then you're okay.
Yep,
And
exactly.
I'm laughing because I'm looking at the trains and they're all tagged, and I'm thinking, well, you probably won't see the same tags, but it'll be a train.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice looking truck, huh?
Yeah, it's a very, very, very cool truck, and it's different, which is why I gravitated towards it. You don't see many Mormons at all, let alone Mormons working every day.
No, you don't. And the Marmons and the old GMCs, the old Max Superliners, help me out. There's probably some other ones in there along that line. They kind of all have the same bones. They all sort of look similar, squared off, big fenders, the flat. They're rounded, but they're not. They're flat because the
Yeah,
headlight moldings are built in on the fronts and they're flat and slope back. And tanks, like the straps on the tank. I mean, Kenworth has done that. Mack has done that. I mean, there's a few of them out there that's the way they went with their tank straps and that big old flat sleeper like that. There's just certain things about these trucks. It was like they were kind of competing within their own, DNAs that was
yeah,
spread around at the time. It was just a different deal. Not a Peterbilt, not a Kenworth, not a Freightliner. Although Freightliner, the
the FLCs. Yeah,
FLC, yeah, kind of had that look too. So I think it was part of that group.
yeah,
But cool old trucks, and I dig those old Mack Superliners. So I'm a
yeah.
fan.
The where I worked previously before I started about the new company, my boss had four beautiful, fully restored Superliners, all with E9 V8s.
Uh,
It's one thing I miss about working there was those trucks.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's amazing how many of those things, and me, I look at them. I look for the round light Superliners. Everybody's got the
Yeah,
square light Superliners. You never see the round light
yep.
Superliners.
They're
And
very hard to come by.
they are very hard. And I had one. That was my first 18 wheeler transfer, truck and trailer back a ways back. So back to the Marmon though, and that visor. I'm wondering now. He must have had that custom built, right?
I believe so. I do not think it was off of any catalog, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything really that you could go to and it's like, oh yeah, fits a Marmon.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. No, probably not going to find it. There's Gene right there, young
That's
man, good
Mr.
looking
Weaver
young man.
himself. Yep.
Good deal. I also like the clearance lights on that truck. I'm going to go back too because those are not your everyday clearance lights either. They got the hoods on top, but are those bezels just the hooded bezels or what? Do you know?
No, they're actually glass.
So those are glass watermelon lenses,
Yes.
and the bezels on the light have the hood on the top. What I'm wondering is if that is the design originally of that light and that was a factory Marmon thing or if that was an afterthought.
I think they're factory Mormon. I could be
Okay.
wrong, but I think they are factory.
Well, I wish Gene was here to have chime in.
Confirm that. Yeah.
Darn it. So we'll try to get Gene in here at some point and have him help us out. Maybe we can backtrack a little bit, but we'll keep it going today. There's the back of the sleeper all lit up. Got them red watermelons. Now glass lights all around, and was everything 1157 and 1156 bulbs, or are these the new LEDs
I believe they were all original glass lenses too, and the glass bulbs as
and
well.
the
The
glass?
right bulbs.
Yeah, bright, bright, bright. Hard to keep it hard to keep in one piece in the rain though. Yeah.
Yeah. My roommate has a 379. He's currently finishing. He runs it every day, and he's going through a couple lenses.
Yeah, well, I used to buy them by the box.
Yeah.
As soon as it rained, it's like, okay, got to change everything's getting redone, and that's just the way it went, man. And the new guys are going, well, why? Well, because the bulbs were so stinking hot. As soon as that cold rain hit them or any
Boom.
water hit them, man, boom,
Yep.
they just they imploded like a submarine.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did there? Yeah. Um, nice shot here, man. I like this shot. Good angle, good use of that tower in the back, and just cool all the way around, man. Nice work.
Thank you.
I like all the structure there too on the bottom of the tank. You just got you rolled right into that one, man. Who set that up? You?
Yep, I looked at it. It's funny. I usually get to these locations about probably 45 minutes to an hour earlier than the truck arrives, just so I can kind of scout out and figure out, what's going to look the best. But a lot of these shots happen to be on the fly. Something catches your eye last second, truck's in the right spot, and you decide, hey, you know what, this looks better than what I originally thought it was going to.
Yeah, 10-4. I hear you. Sometimes you get trucks rolling around on these sites, and you just, all of a sudden they roll into one, and you're like, whoop, stop.
Exactly. I've done that many a time.
Yeah. Another variation of that shot. Of course, I like the other one better. I think the only reason I do is because this one's got that dumpster in it. I don't like that dumpster, but
Yeah.
Right? That's just the way it is. But it's
but a little bit too tricky to Photoshop out.
Yeah, right. Nicely done, though. Yep, same shot, different angle. Good deal. Going in from the top. Obviously, you must be carrying an 8-foot ladder around with you.
No, this was I actually had my 1635 wide angle on, and I just held it up.
Oh, one of these, huh?
Yeah, I tilted my screen out.
Yeah,
and was just able to get it just how I wanted it to be.
Right on. Trick shot. There you go. That's a nice one there too. It's amazing how many shots that flow through our magazine that do end up in these kinds of situations. It just seems like they trucks gravitate towards them, and they make for great backdrops.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of the industry too. I mean, look, there was trucks probably hauling in and out of this place for years.
A lot of steel for many years. Yeah.
Rail cars, obviously too, but trucks as well. So. I think this is the last one, or my mistake? No, we got more.
Yeah. Oh, there should be. Yeah, there should be the interior ones too from inside. Yep.
Yes, sir. There they all are. Coming up. Getting darker. We got lights coming on. Get rid of that. There we go. Hey, look out. Come on in, Gene. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
There he is. Hey, what's happening? Can you hear us?
Yeah, man, I made it.
All right, good deal.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to get here. That's what's happening. Yeah.
That's a good deal. Hey, everybody, Gene Weaver joining us this month's June 2023 cover trucker, and of course his truck that Colin and I have been here chatting about. So glad you made it, man. We were just kind of making up stories about you and your truck here while we were waiting for you to show up. That's a joke, Gene.
Oh boy. I better go back and watch this stuff later. Yeah.
You're safe, buddy. You're safe. We were just trying to figure out some things about some of the effects that you put on the truck, and pretty obvious. The conclusion is you don't exactly go to the store and buy parts off the shelf for a Marmon, so you have stuff made along the way, right? The visor and different things that you had done. 10-4. Gene, yes.
Yeah,
Gene?
the visor. Yeah, this thing keeps glitching on me.
Yep, that's okay.
But
Keep
yeah,
talking.
the visor was something that was the okay. The visor, that was a Kenworth visor there. And then I had to do a little customization. So we made it work.
Right on. Well, it came out good. It's a nice looking visor, nice setup. We're just about ready to keep on moving on here. So you got all the fires put out and everybody taken care of?
Yeah, we got the bull rack on the way to go pick up his kill cows for the night, and I had to go take care of a couple things with him. Okay,
good deal. And where's the Marmon at?
The Marmon, let me think. Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's here at the house.
Okay.
With everything going on, I'll forget where it's at.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask, but who drove it last?
Oh, I did.
Okay. All right. Colin, don't say anything. I won't if you don't. Okay. Nice looking ride, man. Now we're going to go on into the building and get some of these illuminated shots, man. They came out nice. I previewed them already, and they look good. So nicely done.
Thank you. Appreciate
Love the
that.
lights, and she's a worker. Look at that. Got the old pinstripes on her too, man. We can't find anybody to do any stripes up here where I'm at. I had a request from one of our customers at Rogue Truck Body, and the guy that we had doing stripes, I guess he passed away, so we don't have anybody up here right now. We need to find a striper.
We have to get scheduled with Lady Lines to come out there. She probably would.
Yeah,
she travels all over the place. She's from Louisiana.
Well, you know what? When we go offline, you'll have to send me her information. I would definitely like to talk to her and see if there's something there that we could work out. You know, it's funny too on these old trucks like this, and it's how much they borrowed from each other on what they did. I mean, you know, you got the cutouts on there and the breathers. I don't know if that was an afterthought or not, because I don't recall Marmon's having breathers like that. So did you put those Vortox breathers on there, or how'd that happen?
Well, the guy before me did. I don't particularly like them because they say Peterbilt on it, and they just don't quite fit. I'd like to change it to the old style, go back to a 13-inch can, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But, I mean, they aren't horrible. They don't fit terrible on the truck. I've seen worse, but I just feel like a smaller can would look better.
I see nothing wrong with them. I was just curious if there were breathers on there like that before, and then this was an upgrade or a change, or if you made these happen.
Yeah, I would say Marmon's would have came with that old 13-inch can on.
Okay.
From what I know of Marmon's.
Gotcha. Yep, looking good. A little bit more up close. Now, do you have air on the front axle on that truck?
Yes, I do.
So you dumped your bags on that one right there, yeah.
Yep.
And then your cab panels, the stainless panels, did you make those?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine here that started a metal shop here in the last couple of years, and I contacted him one day asking if he could bend them up, quick cut them out, bend them up. He lives about roughly 20 minutes from me, and I ran a stainless over to him, and I wasn't even quite back to the shop, and he's like, "Hey, they're done. You can come pick them up." I'm like, "Oh shoot, I should have waited if you're gonna be that quick." So I turned around, went and got them.
Yeah. Well, you know, it wasn't that long ago that you couldn't buy that stuff even for Peterbilt, man, or Kenworth. You know, there just wasn't any of that stuff out there, and we all used to make our own stuff. So it's good to see somebody's out there still making. I see a few options or opportunities for some other things you could probably do on there as well too, to put some more on it. But you know, to each his own, and you got to kind of draw the line somewhere. Me, I always look for where else can I put some more of this or that on there, and I see some opportunities maybe where you could make it happen. But are you done, or we got some other things that are coming up on the truck? You got any additions you're going to be doing soon?
I don't know about soon, but one thing that we did not do is anything engine bay wise, because I haven't touched the engine bay. Hadn't touched the engine bay. I didn't even tell Colin this, but since these pictures were taken, that is all freshly painted. The motor's all freshly painted, and because we had to do motor work just 2 weeks ago here, so we did some painting and some sprucing things up. Looks a lot better under the hood. Then we'd like to get into the interior a little bit. The interior really it's nothing fancy. It really could use some customization. I think really would help it out a lot.
Well, that's where you dwell, man. So that's where I always write. I wanted it to be someplace I could enjoy being in endless hours, you know?
That's correct. Yeah, I feel like it's come a good ways since I got the truck, but there's more. There's definitely more things to do. I put the flooring in and did a little, added some lights inside there because I can't drive a truck that's totally dark inside. That don't work for me. So I did a couple things just to spruce it up a little, but nothing much yet. Underglow outside is not done at all. I have a whole underglow package drawn up in my head that hasn't been even started on.
Another shout out to Lady Lines right there.
There it is.
Right on. Spring Hanger's got the Marmon on them too. Now she did all that.
Yes,
Lady Lines.
Yeah. Yep. Those it's a Freightliner, of course, back half. So I carved the airliner off, sanded that all down, and had her do that, particularly for the Marmon hater boys. Just so they have something to talk about.
Marmon haters. What?
You can't bag it either, Gene. You bagged it. You ruined it.
I know. I ruined it. Those Marmon purists. Oh man, I bagged it. It's over.
Oh well. What are you gonna do, man? Everybody's got to walk to their own beat, buddy. So do what you do.
That's it. I like it simple. I really. I should have a little thing on the back. Keep it simple, stupid.
Now that's old school right there, man. That is old school right there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
What do we got going on down here? The red button. What is that? Right there. Can you see what I'm pointing at?
Oh, over there. That's just a throttle cable.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That's where my throttle cable is there. Idle or up. That's old school cruise control, buddy.
It is. You know what? My Mac had that same
old
setup.
Old school cruise control. That's my throttle.
Yeah. My Mac had that same setup. Even though it had an electronic engine in it, it still had that throttle like that, and you could set it, however you wanted to do it. But yeah, you don't see those no more. Upgraded seat, that's for sure. See, you're taking care of yourself.
Yes, it is. Well, we try.
You got to, man. You got to. All right. I think I ran to the end here, huh?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
All right. Well, right on, man. Well, I'm glad you were able to make it in, Gene. So congratulations on making the cover. Have you had a good month with responses from the photo shoot? Yeah. People been catcalling you on the radio and shouting out at you as you drive around that famous truck now?
Yeah, pull into places and I have guys yelling, "Hey, I just read an article about that truck."
Yeah, well, and that honestly probably won't end anytime soon. It stays with you for a while, and of course you'll if you haven't gotten them already, you'll get some copies of the magazine. I'm sure Dan probably explained all that to you, and also for being on the show today and making the cover this month. As you can probably tell, we've got a special show today just for you, sponsored by Pittsburgh Power, makers of Max Mileage. You'll be getting a gallon of fuel catalyst from them, and then you'll also get a product package from Evan of Evan's Detailing and Polishing, the Time to Shine guy. So look for that, and of course we always thank them for making it possible to do this particular show once a month and make it happen. So you're in good company.
Yeah, you can't say I never did nothing for you, Gene.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you guys, have you guys known each other a long time?
No, we actually met probably a week before I shot the truck.
Okay.
So I'd heard his name before. I'd heard the stories about the Marmon, and then there it was at the show one day, and I'm like, yep, that has to get in front of my camera.
Well, good. And Gene, I mean, did you ever see that coming or what? Gene, did you ever
I
see
really didn't. Especially not from 10-4. I had never gave 10-4.
Well, that's the best deal right there of all, because we surprise people. I love them when that happens. You know, and I think those make for the best stories too. If you're not expecting it, and it happens, right? Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, Colin, you got anything else to add to the rest of the show before I close her out?
No, I got nothing else.
Right on. Well, Dan said keep up the good work. I'm going to second that and tell you to do the same. Find us our next one out there, man. Keep looking around and doing what you do. You do a good job of it.
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely. And one comment, there you go. Colin Kund is helping us infiltrate the East.
Yeah, apparently I'm making some ruckus on the East Coast with some other magazines, so we'll see what happens there.
Oh, I like that. Let the games begin.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Right on. Well, I appreciate it.
You can keep it up, Colin.
I'll do my best.
Gene, thanks for making it into the show and cutting some time out there for us. I appreciate that. We'll look forward to seeing you somewhere along the ways. Are you going to be in Joplin, Missouri in September for GBATs? Is that a show you got sliced out, or do you have any shows that you're going to be going to let people get a look at your truck?
Yeah, I don't know I'm going to make that one. I would love to, but I can't say I will.
All right. Well, we'll be thinking about you. We hope you can make it out somewhere along the way to one of the shows between now and the end of the year. Of course, those of us out here on the West Coast, a part of Team 10-4, we've got the select shows that we've already sliced out that we're going to be going to, but there's other members of the team along the way that'll be out there. And of course, Stephanie and Eric and a couple of others that can be out there along the way. Let us know where you're at, and that way we can drop by and say hi. I think you might have.
Sounds like
there you are.
There
you are. All right. Well, good to have you. Thanks a lot, Colin. Appreciate you jumping in, and good job. Congrats again, and congratulations again to you, Gene, for making the cover, and welcome to the family.
Thank you. I will say, just a shout out to Colin. He's one of the best of the best when it comes to photography work and what he does. I would say he's definitely stirring things up in the East, and I love it. It really was a pleasure.
I'll have to hear more about that.
That's for some beers in California over some of Dan's barbecue, I think.
There we go.
Here's that. Adult beverages are very refreshing. My voice, I got to keep it clear, you know. All right, you guys, listen, both of you take care. Have a great 4th of July. Be safe, and we'll see you all soon somewhere down the road.
Sounds good. Have a good one, guys. Catch you later.
Right. Be good. All right, folks. Good to have him on the show. Glad that Gene can make it out and get in there and get some time in front of the camera and talk to us about his truck. Dan said he's definitely good with that, Gene and Colin, to getting together. That would be an awesome deal to have you guys out here. The West Coast is there's good pieces of it. You know, you just got to make sure you make it to the right place and get you some good barbecue and cold beers and have a good time. So upcoming shows, obviously, if you guys haven't been over onto the website, even though the website's having its little hiccups right now, there is most of it working. It's just kind of hit and miss. So the latest is right here. Any of the shows that you've seen and you're thinking about going to, I always tell people, check it out right here on our website. And also any of the shows that you're thinking of going to, and we're down here now, go to their website, go and find out, what's going on, what's the latest happening. at their locations for their shows, and that way make sure that everything's in place so you can be there and make it to the show the way you want to go. And I mean, listen, some of y'all planning on a long trip to make it out to a show. I hate for you to get there and something happened, the unforeseen. I mean, we had a couple of years of that. I don't think so much anymore, but I still think it warrants checking it out and making sure that the show's going on. Of course, Walcott's coming up, Dirty Business, it's a Top Gun, some of Great Salt Lake. So Stephanie will be out there. Looks like Dan and Shan will be out there too. So look for Team 10-4 to be out there at that one. And then Waupun, usually Eric goes out to that one. I don't know if he's making it out there to that one this year. Brooks, that's the one coming up in Oregon, up in the Pacific Northwest. That's a great show. If you have never been up to that show, I highly recommend it. I've never been myself, so I'm looking forward to it. And then No Coast, we love the No Coast folks. And then coming up, Guilty by Association Truck Show. Don't forget about NHRDA, National Hot Rod Diesel Association World Finals, September 15th, 16th, 17th. And that's the Texas Motorplex in Enos, Texas. And you can go to the www.nhrda.com and check out all the latest information that's going to be going on at that show. And that's going to be the big show for them. That'll be their finals for the year. Eric will be at Dirty Business with a booth and Waupun. So there's good news. Be sure and say hey to Mr. Eric Hill out there if you guys are checking it out. The Souza Memorial down here in California. Well, I should say down there in California because I'm not in California anymore. And the Bobtail Apparel, looking forward to that one again. That was a great show last year. Looking forward to doing that again too. So appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with me here in the studio again this week. Next week, 4th of July falls on Tuesday. If I make it through that okay, then we'll see what happens for Wednesday, July 5th. Stephanie says she's going to be sliding through the Big Iron Classic. So looks like we got a Team 10-4 coming out and about to more shows than I thought. And guys, just be looking out there for us and be sure drop by, say hi, get your 10-4 swag. If we've got a booth set up, there's going to be whatever swag we have with us that particular show. Could be hats and shirts for sale. And then, of course, posters, magazines, and such are always free. So be sure and say hey to whoever's at the booth at that time and get a picture, do a selfie with them, post it, share it with your friends. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We're on all the favorite medias. So you guys be sure and say hey to us out there by following and liking. For now, likes are still available. Facebook's an ever-changing landscape and platform. So, just bear with it and have fun with it as much as you can. Thanks to our sponsors, as always, Pittsburgh Power, creators and makers of max mileage for your truck, for any vehicle that burns any kind of gas, diesel, or otherwise, for that matter. And, of course, Evan over at Evan's Detailing and Polishing. Thanks, Evan, for always being there for us and doing such a great job. Evan just does such a great job in the industry, period, man. The guy's got a lot of different things going on. Love that he's really branching out and diversified himself to do some other things and make it happen in the trucking world. So his eye has really developed as a photographer, and he's making that work as well. Colin, no problem, man. Yeah, I appreciate having you, and 10-4, I know, appreciate you as well, and being a part of the team and contributing as you have over the years and in the future. We definitely appreciate the great work. Alyssa, nice to have you. Yeah, good evening to you. Anybody on the playback, you guys can catch everything as soon as I shut this one down. It'll be up and posted, and you can watch the whole show and catch everything, all the details of June as it goes out. We're looking at taillights right now, man. June is leaving us, and here comes July, and the new magazine along with it. If you guys haven't got your subscription yet to 10-4 magazine, be sure and do that. That's something great that you can make happen for yourself, and that way you never miss an issue. That's $60 a year, and you get the magazine sent right to your location, wherever that might be. you can do a $5 too. Get a 5-pack and share with some friends. Magazine comes shipped to you either way, protected, and it'll be as good as the day it came off the press, and nice and clean and pretty and perfect condition. So if you're a collector and you want to collect those 10-4 magazines, which a lot of folks do, you'll be able to do that because they'll be in good shape. So look forward to you guys being back when we come back next week. And I hope everybody has a great 4th of July. Remember what our country is about, what it stands for, who we are as Americans, and celebrate our freedom. Make sure that you do that, because there are those trying to take it away. So keep it real, keep it safe, keep the shiny side up. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Happy 4th of July.